Welcome everybody to Ferriphobe Campaign 2. My name is Sam Lender. I'll be your GM. I have some players.
Good evening, my name is Zurr, playing Lumi, the Faian Druid.
Hi, I'm Suda, playing Risha, the Emo Rogue.
Hello, I'm Sadie, playing Zari, the Storm Herald Barbarian.
Hello, I'm Inter, and I'm playing Krior, the monk.
I'm Dean. I am playing Leorindel Spearbreaker, the Grave Cleric.
I'm Ash. I'm playing Ibrakeet the Wizard.
Alright, so last we got together, you guys made your way to your birth town. Along the way, you were attacked by a baby boulette that killed some companions you had along with you. But after defeating that and navigating a flooded river, you got close to town. And two of your party members volunteered to go on ahead and scout the town out. After they failed to return, the rest of you braved the middle of the night to get to town, only to find the party members you sent on ahead clinging to the side of a building 25 feet in the air with a group of undead around them. And we're going to roll right into turn order. So, first up, I'm going to turn that down a little bit. We have Krior, who can't see anything or very much, and has a bunch of zombies and skeletons about 25 feet below him. You're up.
I'm gonna hold my action until I can see something, and if I can see something, I will jump to it and attack it.
Okay. I will let you do that. Lumi, you're up.
I move forward 30 feet.
Okay.
As he starts moving, the people next to him might notice his left eye, which has for at least a couple of years resembled a star in the sky, twinkles as his form starts to darken and looks like the night sky, and the shifts around until the constellation of Mami Faha is apparent on his person.
Ooh. Neat.
I now shed 10 feet bright and 10 feet dim light.
Okay, I will add that to you. Dynamic lighting. Token if it's bright light, 10 feet. And low light, 10 feet. Nope, not 41 feet, 10 feet. Save.
As I can't see anything apart from that, I'll hold action my damage cantrip if something illuminates a foe.
Okay, so that was a bonus action to turn yourself into a sparkling knight? Alright.
Bonus action, sparkling knight, action, reaction, hold.
Okay.
Frost.
Ibrakeet, you're up.
To step up, since I'm the one carrying the lantern.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see stuff now. It's dim.
That's fine. You can see dim.
Does that give me disadvantage on attacks or anything?
Attack rolls, yes, but technically my held action fires because you can see baddies.
Okay. So, yeah, let's do the held action first. DC 13 Constitution save on...
At the very edge of my vision, I can see a thing that isn't the two closest things.
Okay, that would be...
The bottom one of those, it's a DC 13 con save.
Passed.
Dang nabbit.
Okay. So...
Did I not?
Yes, I believe attack rolls are at disadvantage in dim light.
And Prior see stuff now? Does his... Is that who went already? Yeah, Prior's... Can he... Does his held action go off?
Now I want to see what's next to the building.
Yeah, I don't think he can get to where those things are. So.
Okay. Then I'm going to toll the dead.
Okay.
On this one.
Sure.
Because nobody's hurt yet, right?
Right. Toll that dead.
No, the target is not missing hit points.
No.
Oof.
Wisdom save, DC 14. Failed, so 3 damage. Okay. That's got any bonus action?
Not that I'm gonna use, no.
Okay. So it's these guys' turn. So let's see. Do measurement. Oh hey, 30. So you can get there, and you can get there. And they don't need to see anything, but slam. 12 hit you, Lumi.
No.
14 hit you, Iberkeet.
Yes.
Okay. You take 5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
That is their turn. Now it's Skeleton's turn.
Step right up to the front.
That one can get there. That one can get there. Good news, a bunch of people can see things now. That guy's gonna stay there. 30. So he does. Oh, no. This. He can move but not attack. He can move but not attack. So I have one skeleton attacking a Iberkeet with a short sword. 22 hits.
Yeah.
5 piercing.
Oh no.
And a short sword at Lumi. 19 hit.
Hit.
8 piercing.
How's Iberkeet looking?
I have 4 hit points.
It's going well. Loriandal, you're up.
I have less hit points than my maximum at level 1.
Nice.
Alright, I guess we'll just go right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then... Let's see. I want to do it like that, or I can do... I think we're just going to smash it in the face.
Okay, go for a smash. Skeleton 1 or skeleton 2?
This one.
Okay. Armor class misses.
Shoot.
All right. Do you have a
Okay.
bonus action?
I think I had a bonus action. Oh. Yes, but not that I wish to use it at this time.
Okay. Risha, you're up.
Da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Exactly.
The zombies are too far away.
You. Oh.
Weren't you hanging from a cliff anyway? Or hanging from a building?
Hanging from a building.
Yeah,
yes.
but I... Oh no, the short bow has a much larger range. Never mind. I'm a Dingledorf.
Okay.
The zombie adjacent to Iberkeet is
Yes.
going to get a short bow.
Okay. You get sneak on that, right?
Do you?
Roll your hit. 23 hits. So 13 damage.
Risha, what do you see?
Uh, 6 of the 7 enemies below us have moved to our companions. There's 1 skeleton left.
Okay.
Anything else, Risha?
As of right now, I think that will be it.
Okay.
A little too far to throw.
Zari, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to move down this way to try to get around the side, and we are going to try a maul attack.
You maul that skeleton. A
That's a
9
nope.
will not succeed. All right.
No bonus action as of yet.
Cryor, you're up.
I will go down.
Okay. Are you moving carefully or are you just dropping?
Well, dropping costs damage, so
Yes.
move carefully.
Okay.
And I hope to hear a skeleton.
You can just, like, there's enough, like, starlight above because the skies are clear that you can just make a shape out. Disadvantage on attack rolls.
Okay, then I will attack. What's disadvantage against shift?
Control.
Control, okay.
You want to be there or there?
Where we are now.
Okay. $21 still hits. 9 bludgeoning, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so vulnerability means it's ×2, right?
Yep. 18.
All right, so skeleton number 1 shatters in a pile of bones.
Oh, that's cool. So I used, what, 25 feet it was that I
Yes.
climbed?
Correct.
So I used 50 already.
Yes, correct. I mean, you could fall the last little bit, but...
Then I will go there. Yes, I got more than 50 speed. That's my turn.
Well, if you don't attack, you do.
No, my base speed is 55.
It's... How does it double plus... How does it almost double everybody else's speed? Okay, I'm going to figure that out later. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Maths.
Isn't he a monk?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Monk
Maths.
with mark of passage. And mobile, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's fair. Lumi, you're up.
Action, disengage.
Okay.
Run away!
You may not... You may use your movement to move up to 30 feet.
And the zombie facing Ibrikit that got a bolt on it. And Lumi will start swinging his hands, holding his star map and a starlight-like tether and a bead of light looking like a star out of the sky starts swinging.
Okay. Want a starry form archer? You can do this as a bonus action.
Yeah.
10 hits. 9 damage, and it's radiant.
9 radiant damage.
Yep. Skeleton goes and falls over. It's kind of a real gross sound. Yeah. That's a really good version of that sound. Yeah. As a bonus action?
That was my bonus action. That's my turn.
Okay. No, I mean, you can shoot a spell as a bonus action. Okay, well, that's fine.
It's starry form. It's a little different than a spell.
Right. Fair enough. Iberkeet, you're up.
Ooh, boy. Wizards in a pickle. I'm
Bravely
going
ran
to
away.
drop the lantern in my space.
Okay.
The light stays here, and I'm also going to disengage and move back.
All right, so I will stop you producing light. Hold on. 10 feet and 25
Sorry to
feet.
complicate things.
No, you're fine. We got a lantern.
Really want out of here, and I really want people to still be able to see these guys.
Oopsie. Nope. Everything's fine. Why don't you go ahead and move yourself, and then I'll put the lantern where you were. All right, so now you stop producing light. Bright and low. Save. And then there. Grab that. 10. 25. Save. All right. Lantern is there on the ground. So
Do not have any bonus actions to take, so that should be it.
All right. Zombaman is up. Zombaman, going for the nearest threat, moves to Zari. Slams Zari for a 22 hit.
That'll hit.
7 bludgeoning damage. The other Zombaman is dead. So now it's Skellington's turn. We have 2 Skellingtons on Zari. We have a short sword attack. 14.
That will meet my armor class.
Okay. That is 7 damage. And 7 will miss. So. And then we have 2. I'm just going to move right there. On Lorien Dahl. 5 will miss, and an 8 will miss as well. So, Lorien Dahl, you're up.
Smashy smash.
Deem, you're up. Oh, no, never mind. Inflict wounds, 7 will miss.
So why did it do that? Is that the way I had it? Probably that's the way I had it set up.
Yeah, so a 7 will miss, so you spend
Oh, yeah. Okay.
spend the spell slot, but
No.
do not succeed.
Yeah. Okay. None of my bonus actions are appropriate at this time, so
Okay,
I think that'll do it.
Risha, you're up.
Zombies' flesh is easier to hit, so we are going to go for the zomboid.
Okay. 10 will hit. 9 damage.
It's still sneak
It's
attack.
still sneak
so
attack.
that-
14 damage.
Mhm.
You are correct. All right. Bonus action remove for you.
I am going to. They are starting to fall. I am going to move down carefully.
Okay. That'll take all your movement to get on the ground.
Yep. And I'm going to pick up the skeleton's skull because I can.
Sure. Well, we'll go with that. I'm not going to make you spend an action for that. Zari, you're up.
Let's try this maul again on the one to my north.
Okay. 13 hits.
Sweet. And that will be...
So shattered, like you drive your maul from head to tailbone, and all the bones shatter along the way. There's nothing left of this skeleton.
Awesome. That's one down.
Mm-hmm.
and that is it for me at the moment.
Okay. Trior, you're up.
I'll move to this one.
Okay.
Can attack that somewhat.
Okay. $23 hits.
5
Punch,
damage.
Okay.
Not dead yet.
Not dead yet.
I'll move to that one.
Okay.
Attack that one.
You're
Armed to strike.
gonna get an opportunity attack against you as you move away from the first one.
Nope. Mobile feet.
Well, never mind then. Can you pop that into the chat?
Yeah.
An 8 will miss.
Yeah, it will miss.
So how's Zari looking?
I am at 9 hit points currently.
Mobile. Oh well, that didn't pop up right. Okay, I will.
I will.
I can look at it on your sheet. There we go. Speed increases by 10. When you use the dash action, difficult terrain doesn't cost you extra movement. Hey, when you make a melee attack against a creature, you don't provoke attack of opportunities from that creature until. That's super good. All right, good to know.
Reason I asked Zari, it sounds like you could possibly survive one more round if we start beating things down around you.
I think so.
All right, Iberkeet.
No, I haven't done anything yet.
Oh, did I skip you again?
Yeah, it was my turn, and I asked for clarifying questions, and you skipped me.
As you do.
Bonus action, Starry Form Archer, slingshot this bead of starlight at the zombie,
Okay.
which is barely in dim light, so it's disadvantage.
Okay. Roll it with disadvantage. 7 will miss.
Step back to Iberkeet. Action. Use healer feat.
Ooh. First time this has happened.
Only in action?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh no.
Starry form is bonus.
Yeah. So-
You gain. Let's see the math.
9. Is that right?
+2 to that.
Oh,
So
11.
11 hit points up.
11 gets me back up to full.
Woohoo!
Because the healer feat can spend 1 use of a healer's kit to tend to a creature and restore 1d6 plus 4 HP to it, plus additional HP equal to the creature's maximum number of hit dice.
No, nice.
Yeah, so that
That's
brings me
my
back up
turn.
to full, so I am good, thank you.
Awesome. Well, it's your turn. Your turn, good.
Alright, I've taken a really good breath. Some healing ointments applied to me, I guess.
You're just salves and bandages at this point.
Yep.
I'm going to. I think I'm one. Yeah. I'm going to pull this.
He has taken
Oh, I'm
damage.
still at ruler. That's what.
Yep.
Pull this dead.
All right.
He has taken damage.
He has taken damage. 14 wisdom save. Wisdom. Success.
Oh.
With a 19.
Let's see.
So no damage.
Yeah, no damage.
Okay.
Trying to decide if I wanted to use my portent or not.
Up to you.
Means I'm done.
Okay.
Hmm.
Zombie. There's one zombie left. Zari's right next to a zombie. Zombie says, no, towards Zari. 20 to hit.
That will hit.
5 damage.
Okay, I'm still up, barely.
Skellington. Skellington's like, Narm. 6 to hit you, Zari.
That is a no.
And then to Loriandal. 13 hit.
No.
And 16.
Oh. Yeah.
8 damage, Loriandal.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Just that. Thank you. My turn?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think this one needs to take a mace to the face.
That will hit.
Why did I? Sorry, I double clicked on that.
That's fine. So that one falls down with a crunch of bones. And is dead.
Crunchy.
Yes. You're thinking bludgeoning damage does real good work against these guys. You're doing more damage with blunt weapons than you think is normal. Anything else?
They are bones.
Indeed. Anything else, Loriandal?
What is it? Reaction? No, that's a bonus action. Nobody's within danger of being. No one's down in the party, right?
Correct.
Okay, then I
Lari's
think we're
close.
good for now.
I think.
Yes, I am pretty close, but I am not down yet.
I got
It's
you,
okay,
bud.
you're within range. You'll be fine.
Risha, you're up. It's fine.
Gonna continue launching arrows at the zombie
Okay.
after taking a step.
8 will hit.
And sneak attack.
All right. So that is a total of 14 damage. I get to roll a Constitution save. I fail a Constitution save. Zombie goes down with an arrow in the back of the head. All right. Zari, you're up. There's one skeleton left on you and one skeleton left between Kryor and Loriandal.
Okay, so I am going to use my reckless attack to give myself advantage on Mr. Skellington.
Go for it.
That is shift and
Yep.
dice.
$19 will hit.
And then let's do some bludgeoning.
So, reversing the attack on the other skeleton, you go up through the tailbone to the skull and shatter all the bones along the way again, reducing this thing to a fine dust. And arms and legs.
And the skull goes up like a shot put.
Indeed. You're not sure how far away it lands because it lands outside of your visual range. Kryor.
I will attack the one that's in front of me.
Go for it.
Oh, don't click on that. There. 11.
We'll miss.
Then I will use a key point.
Okay.
Use 2 unarmed strikes.
Okay, flurry of bows.
Yes.
Go for it.
Where are you? That's just that one.
8 will miss. 10 will also miss.
Uh,
If you want to
Yeah,
move
I
away,
You're
you can.
supposed to hit the bones, not in between the bones.
Bonus
that
action or
was my
movement?
turn.
This is a very limber
Bonus
skeleton.
action was the key point, and movement I'll stay,
Okay.
I guess.
Lumi, you're up.
Move up on Zari. Action. Healer feat.
Go for it. 10. Ooh, 12?
Plus 2. 12.
12 hit points back to you, Zari.
Yay! I'm no longer dancing on the edge of death.
I'd like to request aid in remembering if I've done healer feat on you, because it's once per character per short rest.
No, I have
Not.
I spent hit die.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, but
for
just
future.
Now you have.
just
for
note
future,
somewhere in that I did it this short rest or something like that.
You can put an icon on your own thing.
Yeah. And bonus action, fling a glinting starseed at the Skellimans.
Go for it.
I don't think Cryer is dead.
It will miss.
Eberkeet. There's one skeleton left.
I'm going to toll the dead on it.
Alright, it has not taken damage yet. I need to make a save. Wisdom save? Yes, wisdom save.
Yes.
I failed! So now it has taken damage.
Alright, I'm gonna stay back here.
Okay. Zombies are all gone. Skeletons are not, though. One of you it's been swinging at, not hitting. The other one of you looks squishy. At the squishy one, a 17 to you, Cryor.
17 hits.
Alright. Take 3 damage, please. Loriandal, you're up.
Okay.
That hits. For 8 is enough. So, a boop to the snoot, and the skull falls off backwards, and the skeleton falls into a pile of bones.
Boop.
Those of... I don't know, everybody could give me a... Does any... Who has medicine trained? Does anybody?
Yep.
Okay.
No.
No.
All right.
Negatory. I have a -1 to it, in fact.
So, Lumi, you please make a medicine check for me, please. Plenty good enough. So one of the things you notice about these skeletons, now that it's gone quiet, is that while they were mobile, they looked like a human skeleton that you've seen before. Now that they are a pile of bones, they are made up of not the right number of bones to be a skeleton.
I would like to argue I'm a grave domain cleric. Can I know things too?
Religion. Knowledge religion.
Okay. Knowledge religion. Why do I not have that one done either? Because I'm dumb.
I'll let you roll it anyway. $18. So what you get with a religion roll is that these undead are relatively young. They haven't been, like, these are not years old skeletons, or were not years old skeletons. They are relatively recently reformed skeletons.
Okay. Huh.
Lumi will comment loudly that loud enough for the group to hear at least, that the Skellimans has the wrong number of bones to be a full human, and that they look human.
So
I was shared the information of them being quite young.
right.
can I
Young,
make?
young
Young
how?
as in recently deceased or young as in recently animated?
Young is in recently animated.
Yeah, they're very new undead.
Do I have any knowledge of that as my feature researcher? Or know where I can find that knowledge?
Pop researcher into the chat, please.
No, that's not the feature. Features and traits. It doesn't list under my actual features.
Okay. Researcher background. Sage. Researcher. When you attempt to learn and recall a piece of lore, if you do not have that information, you often know where you can obtain it. I give you a luck roll whether or not you just have lore.
That's a D20.
D20. Higher is better. You know you can find information about undead back in Haifa. All right, so right now you guys are in this square right here. I think I moved you back to the right. Yes, I did. Back to the Miva map. All right, so right now you guys are in this square right here. To the north, as you guys were on the building, Risha and Cryor, you notice a faint glow unrelated to the stars overhead to the north. Turn that down a little bit right now. And yeah, you guys are in town. You do not hear the other skeletons that Zari distracted approaching. You were quick and fairly quiet in your killing of the undead horde before you.
Okay, so you guys ran into this. Did you find anything else?
We saw a big boy.
Quick description of Big Boy. It is a I will find that here. So, oh, it doesn't give it just a description. Oh, it doesn't give it just a description. So it was a probably 12 to 15 foot tall skeleton. In the well, no, Risha would have had a good vision of it, because of dark vision. Had a.
I also have dark vision.
Right, but you didn't see it.
Oh.
But the description of this thing is a 15-foot tall skeletal body, wielding a very large great axe, and it has a cow skull or a goat, right? Really, a Vuji skull instead of a human skull, with long curling horns out the sides of the head.
And which direction did we saw it leave?
It was here, basically at the gate that you guys came through originally, which caused you to turn back around, and as you got chased. Basically, you took the better part of Valor and left the large one and its friends to where you were.
And if they didn't see it when they came in, we have no idea where it went.
I mean, should we get inside a sturdy building? Maybe we can wait it out till morning and escape then, or should we head out now?
I propose that we return to the camp and give an order to the Salty Circle that once we get out tomorrow or later today, if we don't return in like 2 days or something, they take what they need to get back and report undead in Viva.
They don't know that yet.
Right.
Which is why I'm saying we should go out and tell them to do that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I agree with that plan. Camp outside.
Okay, so now the question is, if this
We'll
thing
get outside.
likes to block the gate, so should we try to find an alternate way out? Maybe try exiting through like one of the river outlets.
Yeah, you can tell where the river is from here. You can hear it at the very least. Who here is oldest? How old are you all?
I believe Zari's the oldest.
I am the youngest, so
Right.
I'm 24.
So you were 6.
21.
Zari's
I was
also...
the upper end
Yeah.
because I felt it needed to be like the older kind of more wise.
Right. So
Zari is also 24.
So Zari and Lumi, you guys can give me a D20 roll to see if you really remember anything about the town's layout.
History?
Sure, history I'll give you.
My character is currently 32.
No, you're not. 24 is the upper end.
Well, that's a 19.
I'm making it up.
Yeah. 19 on history. So, yeah. So upriver is this way, downriver is this way. There's only one real gate in town. So you have a middling good kind of just what you see on this map, map of the city with a 19.
Okay, so that's the only gate in and out of here, except for the rivers. So I don't know if we should try the rivers and just like get to the gate, hop in, and pop out the other side. Do I remember were there like metal gates, or was it like a
Yes, so the river, the wall does go across the river, and there were bronze gates closing the river, or there could be bronze gates lowered to close the river from like creatures or people swimming through it, but they, as you remember it, what you remember, that they were open most of the time. But there are bronze portcullis essentially for the river entrance or openings.
Yeah, but they blocked the gate only because we got spotted.
Well, I mean, I don't know how stealthy we can be getting out of here, but I'd rather go an unpredictable route than one that this creature, whatever it is, obviously knows. Obviously tends to block, it seems. And then we could just make our way back to the Salty Circle once we're outside the wall.
Yeah, the danger is getting out. Outside, we can just probably outrun things. Probably.
Okay.
Easy.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We head down the river, get out through the gates there, and then head that way. Hopefully, taking that route will be unexpected, and whatever that thing is that blocked you two from getting out will not try to stop us from going out the river.
We can always go to that point and inspect, you know, what the situation there is.
Yes.
Yeah. Go inspect. If all else fails, go just follow the wall back to the main gate.
Right.
But the river is wet.
Yes,
Yes, but-
Risha, the river is wet.
But death is cold.
Death is a lack of existence. We'll just make you a zombie. It'll be fine.
So you guys following the sound of flowing water, work your way down. Go what? So sorry.
I'll pick up the lantern.
Yeah.
Lantern, because I ended the battle on top of it.
Yeah. Somebody can
And
carry it.
first 10 minutes of the remainder of the from when I activated it in 10 minutes. I'm glowing.
Yeah. So you're glowing. The lantern's glowing. So you guys follow the river walk. Basically, there's a road that parallels the river on each side. It's a good 4 feet from the edge of the road, almost vertically down into the river basin. The flow of the water is fast, but not tumultuous. As you work your way down along the river path, every once in a while you hear the sound of a zombie or a skeleton as it splashes up against the wall and claws at the river banks, trying to get up at you, but too far down to actually succeed. Could I get a stealth check from everybody, please?
No. I'm really bad at stealth.
That's fine. You can be really bad at stealth. Do you have disadvantage as well, Loriendal, or just no?
No, I'm just
terrible at it.
not dexterous, and I'm wearing noisy armor.
Right. All right.
Chink, chink, chink.
Noisy armor gives disadvantage.
Yeah, if it has a D next to the skill.
It's just scale mail.
Oh.
So, but that's still noisier than everybody else.
Game nope collections. My game means I'll actually pop open. So you guys, you can't get much worse than 5. Other than the few skeletons and zombies in the river, nothing leaps out at you to attack you, and you're able to bypass them by just staying above the level of the water. You do have disadvantage on stealth. So
Do I?
yeah, that's what that D next to stealth, the skill, is.
Wait. Oh, I see it. So okay, you have another one then.
Right.
I'll just let it roll once this time, because I already did the other.
There you go.
So I get a 5.
Yes, you got a 5. It's fine. So you guys make your way over to the gate. The passage under between, or not gate, over to the river. The passage through the wall is about halfway from what you can see. Well, it's really dark. There's probably a 3 or 4 foot gap between the bottom of the wall and the top of the river. And the massive bronze corroded gate here is swung up and out of the river. It is completely corroded into place. Like, you don't think you could move it if you tried.
Tie a rope on one end and send someone through the other end to help people pass. Person standing back here has the rope around them, so the ones that get through can pull them out.
Question to the DM.
Yes.
What if I tie a rope to myself?
Yep.
Somebody else holds it.
Yep.
The other end, and I blink away.
The rope would be severed.
Okay. So that plan is not gonna work.
Yep.
Someone's gonna have to swim.
Deem, you might have to take off that armor, otherwise you might drown.
Yeah. Are there undeads in the water?
You do not currently see any.
And is this upstream or downstream?
This is the
This is
downstream
downstream.
end.
So I mean, we
getting
can just jump in the water and it'll carry us out.
Correct.
Yeah, I'll volunteer.
Okay.
I'm the fastest.
I has a rope. I'll tie a rope to Krior and one to the other end to Leorndal. Because we'll have to pull him out afterwards.
Rope do we need? Because I got rope too.
The wall isn't 50 feet across, so one section of rope will be plenty for this plan, as far as I see it.
Yeah, just shove Leorndal against the wall, tie one end to him, tie the other to Krior, and say, go through.
All right.
Well, I mean, you should probably tie Leander all to me, because I can, once I get up on the thing, I can pull him out with my strength.
Yeah, but the rope will be there. Everyone can help pull him out. That's the point.
Yep.
How does the gate wall look?
Solid
climbable?
stone, dark and slick in the middle of the night.
I got a lantern.
Lighter slate gray and slick.
It's slick from the weather, probably.
Yeah, weather and just like rot and grime and plant.
No maintenance.
Yeah.
Oh, we can do.
I'll
We already
swim.
know where all the undead are?
No.
No?
No one's around us, at least.
There are currently no undead around you that you know of.
I tied
I mean,
You gonna use that? They're
I'm gonna use one.
presence of the undead whose existence is an insult to the nature of life. As an action, you open your awareness to magically detect the undead. Location of any undead within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover and isn't protected from divination. There are 3 skeletons at the edge of your Eyes of the Grave upriver. And no other undead that are not completely blocked.
We have about 3 skeletons 60 feet upriver.
Oh, that's fine. I tie the lantern on the rope as well, at my back.
Okay.
And I'll go for a swim.
Okay. So, climbing down the 4-foot section of wall, it's like an easy, kind of jump off the edge. The water is fast and cold, and I would like a acrobatics check from you, please, Kryar. And you find yourself easily swimming out into the channel and getting around upstream. Just outside of the wall, within 10 or 15 feet of the outside of the wall, the banks even out, and you are able to climb up out of the river without issue. All right, who's next?
Lumi will go next.
All right.
Is there any tree or something like that nearby? Or something I can tie the rope to?
There's nothing you can really tie the rope to. There are some rocks you could kind of belay around, but there's no real thing to tie to.
No, I'll just dig in my heels then.
Okay. So Lumi, you also give me an acrobatics check, but you get advantage. All right. So, Lumi, you hit the water with a cold splash, and your breath immediately leaves you, and you lose grip upon the rope. You sink underneath the water. You do not have dark vision, and surface some amount of time later to high banked walls. We'll come back to you in a little bit. All right, who's next?
I guess Zari will go.
All right.
Question. This is swimming, so can I use my athletics?
Yeah, I'll let you use athletics.
Sweet. Okay.
You do have advantage as well.
Ah. Well, let's roll again then.
Right.
18. So.
All right. With an 18, you much like Cryor before you, you're able to quickly get into the river, swim a little ways downstream, and get up out on an easy bank. Short distance later, seeing the light that Cryor has with him. All right. Next.
I'll go.
Acrobatics with an 8. Yeah, you have it. Oh, a 15. There we go. So with a 15, much like Zari and Cryor before you, with the rope's help, you're able to get yourself out on shore, feeling very much like a wet sponge as the water sheets out from your clothing, but safely upon the bank.
Did you see Luby? He came before me.
No.
About this time, you guys hear from about 30 feet downriver, "Where are you guys?" as Lumi cries out a little bit.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Hey,
Lumi, you can see Cryor's light as you are pulled further down the river.
Has it been 10 minutes yet?
Yeah, it's been 10 minutes. That took you about 10 minutes to get to the gate.
Okay, so I'm dark.
Yeah.
Does somebody want to go grab him, Cryer? I'll hold the rope.
Yeah. I cut the rope, so the lantern is still attached.
Go for it.
And I'll go sprint after him.
All right. So easily able to catch up, and between the two of you, you're able to get Lumi up onto the bank because somebody has 55 feet of movement. All right.
It's only gonna get more from there.
I know. Risha, you're up.
Lion, I've got dark vision. You go ahead and get out there. I'll keep an eye and make sure our backs are covered.
I have dark vision too.
It's just Lorendal and Risha on the other side.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. Well, you watch our back then. I'm gonna gingerly step down onto the bank and look through the gate. Can I see the other bank?
You can
even if it's
see
the opposite side of the river.
So you can see the bank over here if you kind of lean down over the gate.
That's fine by me. I'm gonna misty step over there.
And Risha is dry on the other side of this section.
Oh, okay. That leaves only me.
Yep. You have advantage on your athletics or acrobatics. Either way.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna try athletics because I have a lot more strength.
Sure. 21.
Also remember he's wearing his armor.
Yeah. As far as I can tell, it does not give disadvantage to athletics or acrobatics for swimming, so.
Okay.
Plate does, but ring chainmail does not.
And otherwise it would be the 21 as well.
Yeah. Because that was the first roll. All right, with a 21, much like the rest of your companions, with the exception of one, you find yourself easily walking up out of a Actually, no, exception of 2. Find yourself easily walking up out of the bank of the river, on this side of the river. So, you guys all see Risha on the other side of the river from you.
So how are you going to get over here? If your intention was to stay dry, that kind of...
Over here, I can take off my cloaks and toss them to you so they stay dry, and then I'll swim.
How far can you toss?
They're all light. They're all basic clothing, so pretty far.
Roll them up in a football and chuck them.
I'm gonna
That
toss
also
them in my
means that
backpack
they're
and
light
toss the whole
and-
thing.
Yeah. The river's not that wide. It's fast, but it's not that wide. So,
We
Risha,
should've just thrown Risha across.
you are able to toss your clothing across, and you join your companions, much drier than they are, but still a little damp nonetheless. And as you guys gather along this edge of the river, you can just ever so faintly see the very first inklings of dawn on the eastern horizon, now that you are no longer blocked from seeing it by the walls of the city. Village, town.
Oh no, it's the sun! Give me my cloak, quickly!
I hand Risha her cloak.
Shouldn't you put on the
Right.
rest of your clothes too?
That
I'll do
was
that
wet,
later.
chaotic, and I'm tired. We should go back to camp.
Yep, we should
Yeah.
find out where the they were supposed to move this way in the morning, so
Yep.
so we will either meet them at their camp near the wall or meet them on their way here.
So, you guys head up to the road to give yourself a bearing along to which to follow. And 2 hours later, the sun is just right at the horizon. And go
Quick
ahead.
question: is anyone wounded still? Like, not nicks and cuts, but winded, scratched more severely.
I'm just above 50%.
I'm at 70.
Action healers kit on Leorndal.
Okay, you can do that along the way back, no problem. So,
I am
8.
unharmed.
8. Okay. Do that for Cryer as well, or just leave it?
If he looks like he wants it, I'll do it. If not, I'll leave it. So he'll basically have to ask me because it looks rather spry.
Right.
I looks okay. I'm not, letting a little bit of hurt tell away, Not gonna tell if I'm a little bit hurt.
Krayer, 11.
I'm not that hurt. I have to do that.
There we do.
All right. So you guys get back to see a very tired looking Serhi and Talon breaking camp, and do not see Vahan anywhere, but you do instead see 2 bodies that are not Vahan near the edge of the campfire.
Is the campfire lit or is it extinguished?
They're in the process of extinguishing it.
Druidcraft light the fire they're trying to extinguish.
Lights right back up. It is the sun is above the horizon enough to give full light.
We
Yeah.
want heat as well.
Yeah, I want to dry out.
Fair enough.
Want to nap.
they look at you guys over. We were attacked in the middle of the night. Some sort of undead creature. I don't know, zombies, whites. I'm not 100% sure, but Vahan was on watch. He woke us up before they got him. But they had him down and were chewing on him as we drove our spears through them. Hey, grave cleric, could I get a religion roll from you, please?
Oh, okay.
I didn't think they would come out of the city walls. Not this far.
Oh, come on.
I have an amendment to our proposed plan. Instead of waiting, send them off now. We stay and try and deal with this.
They were definitely undead.
Yes, they were definitely undead.
Any objections to just sending them off now?
Can we handle this?
I mean, what are we going to do here? I mean, we've lost most of our party. We desperately need to rest. Like, what are we supposed to do in the city? We can't clear it out. There's gonna be too many of them.
Yeah, too many for one at one time. That's why we'll try picking them off. Some here, some there.
Especially if they're wandering out this far. We can't have them wandering down the road any farther either.
Maybe go back to Heath, report. We got more knowledge than, you know, what we can tell them.
And maybe come back with, like, I don't know, a couple dozen people instead of just us 6.
If they can spare them.
Well,
it's
you came with 12.
High on the agenda.
Problem being, we're here now, and at least we can fight a delaying action.
Well, I mean, the city's been here for decades at this point, and they haven't come out of here unless this is an extremely recent thing.
They might be very recent, and they're planning to move on the next village along the path. Or technically they can just drop in the river and wait like 4 weeks and just walk out of the river into Haifa.
Well, I mean, the next town along the way is Haifa, so, like, if we're going to... Like, I just don't feel there's anything we can do here, not with our numbers and our current condition.
Blow it all up.
I sent you a message, Deem.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong screen.
Ah, fair enough.
No, Leorndal, we're not blowing up our hometown. I don't care how much you meant it as a joke.
I mean, look, if it means saving the world, what's one town? Even if it is.
Oh, we don't even know if we're saving the world at this point. I mean, this is just. I mean, it could just be a crazy wizard who's like, ooh, dead bodies. I'm going to experiment on my necromancy skill.
Free real
As
estate.
long as I have some place that I could go fight, I'll be good.
Well, you're unlucky, Leorndal. You've got an entire town of undead, potentially.
But there's no audience. I need an audience.
Well, you're in luck.
People up for money.
You're in luck. There's an entire town potentially full of undead that can watch you kick their asses.
But will they pay me?
Well, we're not gonna pay you.
You see?
We pay you enough already.
I think we should send the remainder of the Salty Circle with a number of scrolls detailing our accounts. But I have a feeling that if we leave here, the problem is gonna be a heck of a lot bigger when we return. Remember, question GM,
Yes.
how old is Miva? Is it like 100 years old, 200?
Yeah, that's a reasonable 100 years is a reasonable age.
So, assuming that the skeletons and zombies we've faced so far are the people that actually died in the big kaboom, what do you think happens when they find the graveyard?
Do we know they didn't already?
I think we need a rest, a good dinner, and discuss this again in the morning.
In the afternoon, you mean?
Yeah, it's late. Well, early.
Early.
Yeah. Hey, Salty Circle, you mind doing us a favor?
Sure.
Would you mind keeping watch as Lumi almost passes out and just flops down to the ground next to the fire?
Sure. We slept last night, so yes. Get your rest. You guys can tell us everything that happened when you wake up. All right. Go ahead and take a short rest.
Yay, short rest.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were full, Zari?
No, I have 16 of 23.
Ah.
I got her out. I got her out of
Out of dying?
tickling's death's doors.
Right.
I'm a beefy girl.
That's where I'm lacking. I only have 19.
14.
All right. After drying off and taking a nap, the afternoon finds you guys waking up. Talin and Serhi say there was nothing happened during the day while you guys were asleep. The town in the distance, which you can just see, was quiet. Yeah.
I'll write down what happened.
Okay.
And add a little map of the town, what happened where.
Right. Yeah,
I'll scribble down a note detailing my observations that the skeletons were human or humanoid, but not the right amount of bones to be complete.
Right. All right. What is the plan going forward? Now that you guys are rested and recovered.
Lumi will still say we should send the last third of the Salty Circle back with one of the wagons and the supplies they need, and the notes, and we stay back to explore more. If not solve it, just try to figure out more.
Zari votes for returning to Haifa. because Zari doesn't think anything else can be done here with our low number. We need more people. We need more support to take this town back.
What say the rest of you?
For glory.
I think a lot of us almost died.
I'm too curious to leave this alone.
So
There has to be something more.
So that's 3 for Haifa, 2 for no,
3.
2 for Haifa, 3 for Stain.
Yes.
Risha, what do you think?
I'm pretty indifferent here because Haifa gets us paid now because we've been here. We're reporting back.
That was what we were here to do.
So,
may get us paid more.
Risha, you have the text of the note, which I should have written up before now, or the job, which I should have written up before now, but I didn't because I'm a bad GM. All right, so the text of the job that you were hired to do was to go to the to the village of Miva and determine why all exploration and settling parties before now have been killed. If you are able to solve this problem and make it so that settlers can leave Haifa and be safe, then upon the completion upon the return and the completion of the first successful not adventuring party, basically to go to Miva, then a sum of 3,000 brass and whatever loot you found along the way would be yours to keep, split amongst the 12 people going. The Salty Circle is a required part of this thing. If you only are able to go there and scout the place out but are unable to solve the problem, then the payout is instead 1,500 brass split amongst all of you, and any loot you pick up along the way is forfeit to the guild.
The hell was that?
That doubling the pay you can't spend if we're dead, but at the same time, adventure. So
I mean, do we even know where to look when we go back in there?
There was that glowing building.
What glowing building?
On the north?
Not where we looked the first time.
Well, I mean, we didn't see it. We were on the ground.
Right.
there was a couple points of interest up around that northern section of the cities. So we have a point to go look. And I could always use more skulls.
Yeah, you have to hand in those skulls if we return now.
Exactly. Well,
yeah, that is part of the loot. You have to give them up.
Okay.
I doubt they want them,
then I vote to stay because I refuse to give up Gaius.
Make an exception for Gaius.
Risha, did you name a trophy skull already?
Maybe.
I saw her talking to it last night.
Lumi just sighs heavily.
Well, since we have an idea of where we need to go, I will vote to stay then. So we can send the two back. Hopefully they don't get killed along the way. Sorry, boys.
No, that's fair. We there's only 2 of us left, and there were 6.
I say to the 2, leave as much as you don't need behind, so you can travel faster.
Don't die.
Yeah, you guys work, and they transfer over. So of the 11 caskets, they now have 5 loaded into their wagon. 6 loaded into yours. And they take just enough food for the week-ish travel back, and leave you guys with the rest of the supplies.
Godspeed, gentlemen.
The further away from this place, the better, I say. Good luck. Don't all die. Make sure some of you come back.
Yeah, we got a speedy one that can run away, and thumb over towards Krior.
Okay. Are there any buildings on the far outskirts of the town, like in the fields, that we can?
Yes.
That are still standing.
Define standing. There are some of them that still have walls.
Okay, yes. Do they have walls?
Yes.
That's my main concern.
Do they have roofs?
I think the bigger question is, are they barricadable? Not from the top down, but from the outside in.
So, if you guys head now, you guys head back to town, back towards town, and you do in fact find that this building here, with a little bit of work, can the upper floor has fallen into the lower floor, but is like a mezzanine type upper floor, but you can barricade the remnants of doors and windows.
Okay, I say we do that. Wait out the night. Hopefully, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure something's going to attack us at night, and then tomorrow we can head in and actually investigate that building in the north.
And it's a good place to store our stuff.
Yep, and the manimals.
All right, so you guys pull into this rather decrepit place. Spend the rest of the afternoon working to barricade. There are hammers and nails and a supply, like you can find enough pieces of wood and stone to barricade up the entrances to this place. And if it weren't for the sky overhead, you would think that this was a secure building, or at least secure enough.
While they're fixing the building,
yes,
I'm gonna scout outside here to see if there's any way in over the wall, or under the wall, or through the wall. Let's just see if there's any weaknesses on these walls.
Give me an investigation check, please.
Oh, good, because I'm well trained in that.
19. So there is a large section of wall on the northern side that is, from the looks of it, long collapsed and is mostly a pile of rubble. You think you could climb it fairly well. It wouldn't be an easy climb, but it is not a sheer vertical wall.
When I come back and I see the others finishing up the hard work, I'll relay that to the party. So guys, we got a point of entry maybe.
Oh, that's good. Huh?
It really looks like an easy climb, but...
Speaking of, anyone got my rope?
Oh, I undo the little bit that was still on me. Oh, I got the part.
Deem had the other part.
It was tied to me. I don't know why you...
I'll
Deem-
get
Deem's
both
just been
ends and cast Mending on the cut.
Deem's been walking around with 50 feet of rope trailing behind him.
Yeah, you're able to mend the rope back to a whole piece. It was a clean cut.
I didn't even think about taking the rope off, so that's exactly what happened. There was just a rope hanging out of the tent and everything. Like, we were lucky it didn't get in the fire and just burn everything up.
You know, Talon and Sari saw it, but they didn't want to ask. It sounded like you guys have been through a lot.
Well, I got my 50-foot rope back, so I'm happy.
All right. So, as you guys prepare for a short rest inside of this building, the night falls about the time that Cryor has returned and you guys finish barricading up this wall. Who's taking what watches?
Lumi will take first watch.
I volunteer for second.
Zari will take third.
All right.
I cannot
I'll
see
go
at
to
night,
sleep.
so
No,
I think we all can
I'll
see
take
at
one of the
night.
darkest watches.
And you guys have a couple lanterns too.
well, we don't want to make light.
Okay, fair enough. So, first watch. Can I get a perception check from you, please?
Oh, I just wanted to add that Zari made a hearty meal in the afternoon after we were finished securing the building.
Ooh, tasty. All right, Lumi, your watch passes without much incident. It is, by the time your watch ends, it is full dark. Who's on second watch? Go ahead and roll me a perception check, please. 13. So, join me in the sideboard, please, Risha. All right. So, sometime in the middle of the night, probably an hour or so before the end of the watch, you hear on the door of the building, just I don't know that you can actually hear that. Just scratch, 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 scratch. Pause. Scratch, 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 scratch. Pause. And it just every 20 or 30 seconds, you just hear a scratching sound for however long you let it happen, or if you let it happen for the rest of your watch.
Okay.
Gonna do anything about it, or just let it happen?
Lumi just barely went to sleep.
Yeah.
Lion's next on watch, so I'm gonna wake up Lion early
Okay.
and investigate it together.
All right. So,
Were they?
hi, Laurie and Doll. So you're awoken a little early, with Risha standing over you, and you hear scratch, 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 scratch every 30 seconds or so on the door.
Yeah. I didn't want to see what this is alone, just in case.
Okay.
And you can see in the dark too, so
Then I get up and
let's go investigate.
I'll grab my mace, make sure I have that on hand. And we'll, is there a window or something we can peer out of?
I will get up high and climb the wall.
So the windows you guys blocked up, so something couldn't get through them. So, be a perception check to like try to find a hole in the door that you can see through, or a acrobatics or athletics to climb. I think it'd be athletics.
Climbing.
Athletics, see if I can pull myself up.
Sure, go for it. Nice. So with those rolls, you're both able to clamber up the inside of the wall, and just against the door, kind of where the handle would be if it wasn't just broken off, you see the remnants of a forearm and hand that has the forearm is kind of stuck into the side of the frame, kind of wedged in there, and it's just scratching at the door. And you guys can see it's 60 feet. Yeah, that's what you can see.
Huh.
It's just a forearm.
The rest of it.
Religion or history? Why is it just a forearm?
Knowledge. Yeah, go with religion.
Did we just find a new back scratcher?
With a 10, you think this thing is a crawling claw, which is a tiny undead part of a person. With a 10, that's what you know. It's known as a crawling claw.
We don't see anything else nearby?
Not within the radius of what you can see. And just every 30 seconds or so, it's just scratch, 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 scratch.
Well, it's undead. That means damage. Damage is no fun. No back scratcher for me. Dang it.
Oh shoot, I didn't grab that. Okay.
But do we warn the others? Because
I think we can warn them pretty easily by shouting if this becomes a major issue.
Alright, I'll stay up here and keep my eyes out.
However, I don't necessarily think we should leave that thing trying to break in.
It doesn't look like it's trying to break in. It's just scratching at the door and making a sound.
Risha, where's the skull?
Pulls it out from off of her belt under her cloak. Right here.
Can I get a perception check from Eurisha?
Affirmative.
So, just in the very depths of this thing's eye sockets, you see a very faint red glow.
Aw, Gaius, are you trying to become whole again? Naughty little Gaius.
Did you say that out loud?
Affirmative.
I don't want to assume I can make my character will make this connection unless you say it's okay.
Well, go for it.
Because I'm pretty sure that at this point, as a grave cleric, in that comment, I've realized that it's attracting additional body parts as an attempt to reconstruct.
Yes, that is a fairly good assumption.
Risha, I don't think you should collect too many skulls right now. Clearly, it's going to lead more and more parts to us.
I'll only keep the one.
And now I would like to toll the dead on the arm.
The arm just goes limp, and the lights go out inside the skull.
Okay.
Naughty little Gaius. Naughty little Gaius.
And
I just gently flick its nose socket.
I believe it would behoove us to figure out how exactly that is working.
Agreed.
And how dangerous is it for you to keep your precious skull? Because if we're going to end up with a near fully complete skeleton on our doorstep, that may be more of a problem.
Well, we'll figure that out when we come to that bridge.
You'll burn that bridge
You're a
when you come
grave
to?
cleric.
You'll explode that bridge when you come to it?
Yes. We're good at exploding bridges after all.
All right. So with that, the rest of both of your watches are going to pass without incident, so we can go ahead and rejoin everybody.
Okay.
Oh, they're back.
Yeah, but scale mail doesn't reduce your speed at all.
I know. It doesn't reduce speed, but I just like
Right.
the idea of it going clunk, clunk, clunk.
Yeah,
So-
it does give disadvantage on stealth.
You guys, the rest of you who were not taking watches, wake up to the sight of Risha and Loriandal talking quietly from a perch upon the wall, looking down at the front door. And it is morning. The first rays of sunlight are lightening the sky.
Y'all didn't wake me up from my watch.
Wasn't sleepy. Had a good night.
There are quite a few of us. We don't have to wake up everyone every time. It might behoove us to allow a rotating schedule of letting people get a full night's rest for maximum strength.
And a few of us didn't take any injuries. Oh wait, that was just me.
Oh, what
I'm
happened?
used to taking injuries, so I shrug them off easier.
I'm just quietly eating a ration.
There's still some leftover stew. Why do you have to eat a ration?
I'll mix that with my ration.
Yes, please. I'll take some stew.
Okay, so what
Kind of
happened?
stew.
It's
There
Gaius
potato
was just
stew.
being a little naughty. Don't worry about it. Everyone was safe.
Yeah, it was
What?
interesting.
What did you say, Risha?
I said Gaius was being a little naughty, but everybody was safe. Don't worry about it.
Where is Gaius?
Again, pulls him off her belt right here and puts him back.
Zari, would you mind crushing that thing?
Don't
Oh.
you dare.
I just want to know what happened and not like
It was an interesting occurrence. I believe it'll be more useful to us to keep it around so we can figure out how and why.
okay, but you're still not explaining what happened.
Oh, Gaius just tried to reconstruct.
Oh,
There
okay.
was a disembodied hand and forearm at the door last night, attracted to the skull.
Oh, okay, that's no problem then.
I'd like to pontificate that my previous request stands.
This is a perfect opportunity to study the incident that is occurring right now, how and why this is happening.
Maybe if we put Gaius in like a bowl, he can like roll around like a detector thing and like bump into the glass. and then we'll know where to go.
I agree with Lorendal. If it's a study object, we should not, discard it.
We kind of know something we didn't know before. Information is always valuable.
Indeed.
Okay, so the skeletons are trying to reassemble themselves. That is interesting to know. Anything else happened, or was that it?
That was it.
Okay.
Religion check.
Yes. Go for it.
Oh, I want to keep my insight now if nothing else happened to Risha.
The answer, you believe her.
Okay.
Attempting to focus on what I know about undead and see if I actually maybe have read something.
Okay. Go for it. Ooh, a 20 on religion. All right. So most of the time, somebody has to cast a spell to raise a skeleton back. It takes a complete skeleton. Like you have to have the majority of the bones, and you can't have like 4 femurs and no humeri.
Yeah.
And once somebody destroys a skeleton, it normally can't be raised again as a skeleton for some amount of time. With a natural 20 on religion, there is some great amount of necrotic energy suffusing this area in order to basically build skeletons out of random bones and have them just reassemble themselves from nothing without an active spellcaster doing it.
Player says it sounds like a lech. Something in those veins. That's not character knowledge. That is me making assumptions.
But yeah, some great like okay, so you know how pond scum will form upon a still pool of water just kind of out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Basically that, but undead in this town. There's so much necrotic energy here.
With this new information, do I know anything more? Does any bells ring?
Go ahead and roll your history check, please. With a 13, this phenomenon was happening in the city of Ook before it was reconquered. And it has happened in other places of great loss in the past, like some place where a mass grave was placed upon a magical ley line or something like that. That sort of thing. So a mass grave in a heavily magicked area. With a 13, the city of Ook used to be this way, but is no longer. And you probably could learn more in Haifa. You know where the books are.
Okay.
Make a history check. Is that worth it? Find out more?
Yeah, if you want to try a history check just to remember something, go for it. 25. Okay. So you read the same books as...
That's one of my best skills.
Yeah, you read the same books as Cryo, but you remember more things. So the city of Ook was on the southern continent and was ruled by a lich for 180 years and ish, 180 years ish. And about 100 years after he took over the town and was like suffusing it with necrotic energy was when the undead spread from its walls out into an area multiple miles around. But there have been in the past, somebody might create this sort of place by, say, getting a whole pile of dead people, and filling and like spreading iron dust in, around, and amongst them in order to basically give it magical energy, and then casting a necromantic spell upon it and cursing the land, basically an unhallowed place. So an unhallowed mass grave can do this, or just a lich being a lich for a long time could do this.
Okay, so we're either dealing with unhallowed ground that we need to rehallow, is that the right word, or a lich. Can a lich do
Or a
this sort
buttload
of?
of iron.
Can a lich do this sort of thing in just 20-something years?
Well, the story of Ook was, that it was hundreds of years, but it's just a story I once read. I don't know.
Well, at this point, I think the only thing we can do today is investigate that light that you all saw. So,
Well,
shall we do
finished
that?
with my breakfast, so let's go.
Before we go in, I want to spend 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay. There is, let's see, can you pop the spell into the chat? Thank you. Presence of magic within 30 feet.
Are our runes magic our tattoos?
Yes. Depending on what your mark is, it's different schools of magic. But yes, your magic your marks are detectable by detect magic. Separate from that, you can detect the caskets that left behind are they necromancy or abjuration?
Yeah, I think they were necromancy.
Yeah. And there is a faint, like, suffocation of just kind of the air around here of necrotic, abjuration, and transmutation. Just kind of in the air you're breathing. Yeah, the whole place faintly glows of magic.
On this from the start, but yeah.
All right. To the north?
To the north.
Outside of the city walls or inside of the city walls?
Outside. We are going to scale that crumbled section.
So heading to the north, following along the edge of the city walls, every once in a while, who has the best passive perception?
14.
13.
Perception.
13. Yeah, it looks like 13.
11.
11.
Oh, me at 14.
Oh, 12. Sorry.
So
I only have an 11.
So, Iberkeet. So every once in a while, along this path that you guys take around the outside of the city, you will see, shadowed in amongst a place that is protected from sunlight, the shape of a human body standing or slumped against whatever it is sheltering inside of. Not moving, not acting.
I'll lead them to the wall that was crumbled.
So you guys make it, and there is a blasted out section of wall. You can see the rubble 30 or 40 feet tossed, like boulders the size of a torso, tossed out from this opening in the wall. And the rubble is collapsed down, but is still surmountable. You can, if you wish, climb over top of it. All right. Gonna have to make some changes.
If they're pointing, Lumi is climbing, at least trying to.
Okay.
Is it crumbled in such a way that we could reach the top of the wall?
Yeah. If you wanted to get on top of the wall itself, you can.
Okay.
It is
maybe
the difficultest of terrain.
Maybe someone should go up there and peer over the whole city.
When he finished that, well, halfway that sentence, I'll run up.
All right, so I'm gonna
scurry.
Dynamic lighting.
Difficult terrain, so it's 55 feet.
Yep. So you are able to hold on objects and tokens. So you're gonna get there, and everybody else is gonna get. Can I get a marching order, please?
I'm first.
Yes. Who's second?
I think Lumi was
started climbing before Krior started climbing but Krior whizzed past.
Okay. Who's third?
Then I guess it'd be Zari.
Okay. Fourth.
Would like to be second to last.
Second to last. Okay.
I'm gonna purposely pull up the rear.
Okay.
So Lion is the fourth.
Yep. All right. So Krior, you scale this wall and see an array before you. The rest of you, Lumi, you can see it. Okay, most of you can see it. The rest of you are following up behind. And a familiar question mark face peers up to you from a glowing magical circle and says, yes, I see the mark to make it. Oh, yes, it's very good to see you. And we'll go ahead and end it there for the day. So thank you, players, for joining me on episode 2. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It has been great having you here. Bye.
Hey.